Before I invite Dr. Diana to introduce our speaker for today, also allow me to talk about the Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Management. As earlier I mentioned, in MUBS, I do head the Department of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. The Department of Entrepreneurship and Innovation falls under the Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Under this faculty, we do have two departments. The one for entrepreneurship that I've just mentioned, and also we have another department of project and small business management. So the faculty houses those two departments. In the faculty, we do also offer a range of programs ranging from the diploma in entrepreneurship and small business management. We also offer a Bachelor of Entrepreneurship. We also do offer a Master of Science in Entrepreneurship. And also we do offer a PhD in Entrepreneurship and also a PhD in Project Planning and Management. Soon, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be introducing short courses in the area of project management and also in the area of entrepreneurship. So we do encourage you to come and apply to study our programs, or also to recommend other people to come and study our programs. Our programs are job-centered. They focus on the needs of the labor market. They focus on the needs of this country. So we do promise you that once you have offered all our programs, once you have done our programs, you'll be able to really fit into the labor market as a business person, but also as an employee. So at this point in time, allow me invite Dr. Diana Ntamu to introduce our speaker for today. Dr. Diana Ntamu is the director of the MUBS Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Incubation Centre. Also, she's a senior lecturer in the Department of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. She's also a researcher. She has participated in a number of research projects. She's also a consultant. She has consulted for a number of organizations, both public and private. And also she's one of the renowned speakers when it comes to the topical issues regarding entrepreneurship in this country. Dr. Diana Ntamu, please, you have the floor to introduce our speaker for today. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Usemererwa. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this session. I'm excited to see all of you logged on today for this exciting presentation on using technology to build innovative solutions, lessons from school pay. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll agree with me that as we step into 2025, it is important that we acknowledge that entrepreneurship or business is more competitive than ever. And it is important that if we are planning on thriving in this changing, complex business landscape, it is important to embrace technology. Technology is no longer an option for us, but it is essential. Think about what business you're running. You may be running, a service business, and we have many service businesses in hospitality, in schools, in healthcare, and all those other businesses. It is important that we think about how we're going to integrate technology into what we're doing. The world is rapidly changing. Technology has become indispensable for driving innovation and progress. And one of the areas which I found technology very impactful is education. I know we may have parents here logged on. We have school owners. We have we have people that our relatives that we send to school. But school pay is one of those wonderful innovations that I've found very, very useful. I can pay school fees on my phone. As a parent, it becomes so easy for me. I remember the days when we used to go making long queues in banks. And I mean, that doesn't add value in a way, because of course the banks would be stressed and the parents. But this one solution called School Pay revolutionized how schools manage payments and streamline their operations. So this morning, we are privileged to have Osbert Muganga, who is going to be sharing with us the journey of School Pay as a testament to the power of technology to create impactful solutions that address challenges. And to me, this is an example of what entrepreneurs should be doing in 2025. If you didn't do this in 2024, please think about what you're going to do. But who is Osbert? Osbert is a seasoned business technology strategist who has expertise in corporate strategy, technology, and innovation and financial management. He has over 9 years of leadership experience, having successfully driven business growth across Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, and Rwanda in fintech, construction, insurance, and technology. As general manager of Service Corps, or what they call School Pay Africa, Osbert spearheaded the expansion of School Pay across East Africa. He enrolled over 20,000 schools and 7 million parents, while building partnerships with over 40 banks and overseeing transactions and fees exceeding $3 billion every year. His leadership played a key role in making School Pay the leading digital payment solution for schools in multiple countries. I remember when I used to take my children to school. I mean, there was no School Pay back then, but when I go to the different schools, I find that School Pay is the real solution. Osbert is also the founder and director of BTIC Group, which is an innovative company in construction, equipment supply, and financial technology. He developed Equip Access, an e-commerce platform for the construction sector, and EAMS, an asset management system generating annual revenues of over $250,000. With expertise in organizational development, sales, marketing, risk analysis, and systems development, Osbert has worked with fintech startups, Edge Microinsurance, NEPSAB, Service Corps, Fincom Technologies, and Pivot Ventures, supporting product innovation, market entry, and business scaling. Osbert has completed the MBA in project management at MUBS and has submitted his research. He's passionate about leveraging technology to drive financial inclusion, business efficiency, and growth in Africa. This morning, Osbert, I want you to know that we are honored to have you, and we're looking forward to learning from you. How have you been able to do it in School Pay? What lessons can we take away for us to be able to drive growth in our businesses? Osbert, you have 45 minutes. We shall have a question and answer session. Thank you very much. Over to you now.
Thank you very much, Diana, Dr. Diana. Thank you very much, the MUBS Entrepreneurship leadership, for inviting me to share our experiences, our lessons that we have learned as a fintech in Uganda. And as I'll be explaining much more, the fintech company Service Corps is a homegrown Ugandan company. We do not have any international investors, or call it the so-called whites that our fellow Ugandans have said. They're the ones that will always bring technology into our country. So you will be speaking to people that have built this, driven it on their own, and we are all from Uganda. So just to confirm, please confirm if you're able to see my screen in PowerPoint presentation, Diana.
Yes, Osbert. Yeah.
Okay. Also confirm if the screen is able to move.
Yes, I can see you. Go on to the next slide. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So just a little bit about me, setting aside from what I do or what I have been for the last 9 years. I'm a God-fearing man who is married, finished my MBA and submitted my research for defense. I'm a pioneer staff of School Pay. since 2016, since when the product was just in the shelves, with thoughts of, will this product work, won't it work? We took a step of faith that hand it over to me from the board, and let's see what we can turn it around. It's now 9 years, and we can all attest to see what Scope has done in this country, and even much more to what it has done in Africa. I have led operations of expansion, and I head the global business team for Scope. I have deployed the same strategies, the learning lessons in the education sector in Tanzania. I have done Kenya, I have done Zambia. We have recently deployed in South Sudan, also trying to change the landscape in our neighboring countries. We have done Ethiopia. We have also done Rwanda. I have also been a part of not a big company in the construction sector, but we have been able to take on some projects in the road construction and oil and gas projects during the year 2021. I have also contributed to tech consultancy projects in telematics. Diana can testify. Diana received one of her first key password security for her vehicle. She has always been testifying that I saved her and brought her a total peace of mind, because back then thefts of cars used to be a lot. Technology has now grown, and there are so many the technologies that have been deployed in the telematics sector. I have also done some bit of consultancy projects in the telecom business and in the construction sector. Part of the co-founded digital apps were the lending apps for Loangram, Equip Access, which is for construction, IMS, and the East African Logistics System, which deals with reverse containering or reverse procurement processes. I've participated in health outreach programs. Very soon you'll be able to see a launch product for partnership with KCCA, Ministry of Health, where we are launching mobile clinics to respond to the next item, which is the border accidents. We recently received a report, the annual border annual safety report in Kampala, and where there was a report that over 20,000 border accidents are happening in this country every year only in Kampala. And of those ones, about 6,000 people have died because of the delayed responses, because of there's no technology that can actually come in to link the different respondents, paramedics, hospitals to such kind of crashes. I am happy that I've been a part, and will be the part of the team that will be implementing this product as well. And I'm consulting for Edge, and I will be working with Centenary Bank. Yes, and I'm passionate about business technology, which I usually like calling TBT models, transformation of business to technology. And basically, one of the things I'll be talking about, what have we done at Scope? What can businesses do to transform themselves from just being traditional to being technology business? We have seen AI companies coming up. How can we use them in our businesses? I have had a chance to use the ChatGPT, the DeepSeek, Geminis. I have used it all, but not using them really for fun to draw nice pictures and draw very nice things, but to really run complex models of understanding situations, understanding data. I have not seen very reliable softwares that can actually interpret data that the businesses have had. And I'm here as an advocate for AI. Just use AI for making data-driven decisions. I'll also be speaking just briefly about what I have been able to use it for and how it has actually helped us as a business. Heading straight into Scope Africa, we'll just introduce what we have done, our impact, and then we can go straight to the lessons. We run a group structure, and the mother company is called Service Corps, which many of you have heard. Service Corps is the one also supporting you on your agency banking systems for Centenary Bank. Back then, 10 years ago, when you would transact and get a message on your bank account, we happened to be one of that first company that had deployed those solutions. Service Corps also has other departments in BPO, where we are the ones running the call centers for Centenary Bank, some call centers for Airtel as well. We are headquartered in Mauritius, of course, in order to play in the international space. We have also been a fintech company for over 15 years. We operate in 6 markets. Our global education product trading name is Scope. So just to give you an understanding is that Scope is not the only product we have. We have very many other solutions that you're using. when you're out there, when you're paying for your motor third-party insurance and you're using mobile money, you're using our solution. If you're out there and you're using agency banking services for Central Bank, you're using our solutions. If you're out there paying school pay and have been enjoying school pay as a parent, you're using our solution. There's so many that if I get to talk about them, my 45 minutes that have been allocated to me will not be enough. And of course, one of the key core compliance issue is being an ISO certified company. For you to be in position to play in the international space, in the technology space, fintech space, for people to gain trust in your systems, then you need to have quality management systems, at least some bit of certifications, information security management was one of the key issues we got even when we were deploying this school pay platform to schools is how secure are you? We have had people stealing money. So we had to take a step ahead and we got certified, we got the best teams on board, and we're in position to have processes that can be internationally certified by ISO. So ISO is international standard organization that issues these certificates or what you call accreditations to organizations, certifying that you follow certain principles or you follow certain compliance and regulatory frameworks in the international space to keep people's data safe, to be in position to run your organizations and processes. And we have seen this enable us to play and get contracts with particular banks in the sector that we are playing in. This is our footprint. Of course, our main operational base is Uganda. The next hub was, of course, Zambia. Our other biggest market was Ethiopia. The next one was Tanzania, and then the other one is Kenya, and then South Sudan. So I head and run all the operations in these markets. I provide oversight for strategy, operations, market penetration, go-to-market strategies for the entity school pay. Our impact, of course, we have about 40 banks that we are fully integrated with, running with our own homegrown Ugandan APIs, software that are supporting most of these banks that I've mentioned in the countries we are working in. Over 20,000 schools are onboarded onto the platform. 9 million students are actively using this platform to pay their school fees at their schools. We collect about $3 billion per year, and this is for only Uganda and part of Zambia. I only picked up at least 2 markets just to show you our impact that we have actually done, that we have been able to collect all of this and have not lost any money in the sector of the fintech. We have not been hacked before. We have not lost any trust. I'm sure you would have already seen us in the newspapers. School pay loses money. You're playing in different countries, different technologies, different landscapes. So it was a totally, for me, I call this one an ever-learning landscape, because where you think you have got it right, it's the beginning of, yes, you haven't seen yet, because technology is changing every day. The people that want to try and hack our systems are also innovating every day. So you find that if you don't equip yourself with different landscapic cybersecurity parameters on compliance, on all, then you surely have not learned anything in technology, and you might quickly lose the successes you've built for the 9 years and lose them overnight. We set out, of course, like any other entrepreneur, you first identify a challenge, and then from the challenge, you develop a solution that would bring convenience to the market. I had Diana talking about the long queues. If I tell you one of the stories we had, how we actually had to come up with this thought is when we were in Centenary Bank, going for different kind of business presentations to do. You saw someone faint in the lining hall. You know, those Mapera lines would even cross up to the main road. So you're like, but can't there be someone doing a digital platform? Or why don't we develop something to resolve such gaps? And of course, with part of our founders, and that's Joseph and Matthias, for purposes of mentioning them on call, we set out to design this solution. The mantle was given to me, of course, to spearhead it, pioneer it, and ensure that it works in the market. And from here, we should be in position to tell the story 10 years later on what we have been able to do. That the sad stories we saw on people lining up in those banking halls, and from lining up for 2 hours, you have to board a taxi or drive your car to your school, taking your child. The entire cycle of school fees would cost you either a day, you wouldn't spend not less than about 20,000 shillings just to console through or run through that hassle. I'm happy to say you can now pay school fees under 1 minute. You can now pay school fees under 5,000 shillings. And by 5,000 shillings, that's someone paying 5 million shillings in school fees. Imagine holding that cash when you're going through jam to the bank, to the branch, then to the bursar, clear me, oh, I have lost this. It used to be a mess. So part of the convictions we had to get to build such a platform arose from such pains that we were hearing from parents. Of course, financial reporting and reconciliations of school fees payments at the schools was actually quite a mess. I remember one of the schools we went to, they have 4,000 students. And when we went to the director, I was presenting to him. I asked him, I said, Director, are you aware of the number of students you have in your school? He said, yes. We said, okay, how many are they? He said, about 3,500. Okay. Are you sure that the reconciliation is done on time? Because if you look at the school fees cycle in that school, parents used to pay school fees up to 5 times. Imagine having over 3K or 4K, and parents have paid 5 times. You have a whole bouquet of bank slips of up to 20,000. Trust me, as any entrepreneur, you will be spending on costs to recruit those people. You will be making very many errors. You make errors of omission. You make errors of that are even intentional for creating fraud from the institutional users. When we deployed the system first year, he actually found he had 4,000 students. Okay, gap number one, without technology, he would never have known the actual student portfolio he had, because I mean, like any business person running business, there's some bit of dishonesty that we, of course, cannot avoid. There will be people who will be under declaring some information. So he found out he had 4,000 students. We later found out that actually some of the money was never reaching the bank accounts. It was stopping in cash, misused by the head teachers. A teacher X collects money on mobile money from the parent because the parent knows teacher X. Teacher X is the teacher of my child. Forgetting teacher X is also human. When you send the money and they are not going through some bit of financial issues, the money will be used. So there was so much mess that was in these schools that you're seeing thriving in our communities. And this is where I want to bring out technology really. Take what has technology done in these schools? What can technology do in your institutions? Without having this information, you will never know what you're missing as an entrepreneur. And of course, education value chain analytics. We are now able to tell the banks, okay, look here, school X has been performing this. You used not to have it in your books, you can lend them financing. Rather than even just lending to the schools, why don't you lend to the parents? Why don't you encourage them to borrow money? Because we have the data, we have the track flow from the parents that are paying the school fees. Give them the loans, let them take the kids to school, provide insurance. And as I will be talking about many more things of how we have evolved our product from just a mere school fees payment to a bigger value chain, education value chain product. And that is the last one. Of course, there was bad saving culture. There were, of course, no credit institution that would lend to the parents. The insurance, we saw sad stories of parents who had passed away and kids had dropped out of school. And I will be speaking a little bit more about this, just to show you with technology, what can you actually do? Technology can give birth to a series of product lines, from just launching one product to having 10 products just married within the same solution. Let me just speak on something called school fee savings. When you look at the data on school fees payments for our parents, especially when the ones taking their kids to school now, we look at our average cycle of how school fees is paid in the Ugandan economy, leave alone the bigger high-mid or high-end class institutions. School fees is paid within a 5-cycle model, where for simplicity of understanding the data, school fees is paid more than 5 times. So if school fees is 1 million, parent will send 200,000, 100,000, 50,000, 80,000, until the 1 million is done. What that has helped us understand in data is there's probably not a very good saving culture, or maybe the parents maybe do not save this money, or they have maybe some bit of financial challenges. We said, okay, let's deploy a savings product. Okay, said, let's provide a saving, which we're actually launching with Airtel this next month. And we are saying that if for every parent that has saved, say, for example, 100,000, we have partnered with unit trust institutions, that's Sanlam Investments East Africa, where a parent will be earning interest daily, and their interest will be paid at any one point they want to exit, they will be in position to withdraw. So we are promising that the parents will actually be able to get the 8% per annum on interest computed daily. And we are saying, guys, let us save so that we can be in position to reduce the cycles that we are seeing, because we project that if this trend happens, if there's another COVID, if there's another disruption in the market, then we might see a loss of enrollments of students in these institutions. So those are some of the products we have developed, increase in revenue, and also as a result of using technology to run our business. We have student pocket money, for example. We have students that you've been sending to schools with cash. Guy reaches there, he's an S1 student, he's beaten up, money is taken. Losing cash by kids and students is an everyday job in these institutions. The student pocket money profile in all these schools that we are talking about, you will actually be shocked. Pocket money can even amount to $1 billion in terms of monthly pocket money that our parents send to their students in school. Imagine if you want this future generation of students learning technology. How about someone brought a small card where a parent can load it on mobile money and via your student code, go to the canteen, buy the things you want to buy, tap on the machine, or go to the bus, tap as if it's a small POS machine which can allow you to withdraw only that money which you want to consume. What we have done is that we're also doing financial inclusion education in the students that we are going to be, that are our future leaders of tomorrow. How about if we start those students when they're still young? So we have developed a student pocket money card, and this is financed by MasterCard Foundation, which has given us over 300,000 cards and gadgets to ensure that there's leaving no one behind in the education space. So we have also done this. School fees loans, we are working with different banks with the data that we have been keeping as Coupe for the last 9 years. Where Diana has been maybe paying for her child, we're able to know Diana pays X amount of money, pays consistently. At that one point when Diana needs money, School Pay, with working with banks and the different logics of the system that we have built and the scoring engines, we should be able to extend Diana a small facility loan and keep the child in school. So we have also developed this solution, and we have exposed this platform to banks, to credit institutions. Very soon we will be able to hear in the market school fees loans without even having an account in their bank. Of course, school shopping, we also understand the hassle of what is going in the supermarket, downtown Chikuvo. I want to shop for my kid, I'm going back to school. We have also sat down, developed a solution where we are talking to the schools and say, okay, tell us what requirements you want the parents to bring. Let's capture them in a system, tell them how much money they need to pay. If you're a parent and you have requirements, I don't know, brooms, saucepans, wheelbarrows, list them. And when you pay, we are going to partner with very many multiple businesses around the country. And then these businesses, once you have paid, there will be a list of parents that have paid for the different requirements, and the school will receive this supply in bulk. And that one, we're also trying to bring convenience for the parents when trying to go and do some shoppings for their kids during their go back to school fees campaign. Lastly is the school fees insurance. School fees insurance also comes in is that we have seen sad stories, dropout rates, and then we start asking schools, why are we seeing a huge number of dropouts for last year to this year? It says, you know, some students have lost their parents, their guardians, they are unable to keep their children in school. So we have also sat down on a high impact product for insurance and said, if maybe we encourage parents that every school fees you may be paying as just small 500 shillings or 1,000 shillings extra, that should there be any problem with you, maybe your loss of job, injury, or death, School Pay will pay for your child until they leave school. So those are some of the products we're trying to think as School Pay to leave a high impact story in the education sector. Why am I mentioning our solutions? Am I blowing my trumpet? Am I trying to show that we are doing big things? No. I was invited to speak on a topic of using technology in our business. We began as a school fees collection product and platform. The data that has been amassed, the lessons that have been amassed have given birth to 5 other solutions, and these are going to be revenue line streams for the company. So as an entrepreneur who is there, this is what technology can be able to do for you. You cannot be able to use data that you have collected manually. The receipts and invoices, the customer data, the behavior of your customers can never be understood using the manual processes that you have. But I can guarantee you, with using the right solutions in your business, you can be able to check data behaviors, predict customers, able to understand the customer profiling. You're able to understand that, okay, this customer is this size, is this big, but why am I getting these less orders from them? How can I use technology and information to ensure that I size up my portfolio, segment them, and remain in touch with them? A case in point is the WhatsApp business that has come. Many of you want to know WhatsApp for just messaging. I'm happy to tell you that I'm also part of a company called LipaChat Africa. And LipaChat Africa has been given the API by Meta to be in position to integrate and enable businesses to actually run and communicate with their customers. Right now, you can actually send money and make payments using WhatsApp payments. You have seen Centenary Bank launching WhatsApp banking, or if some of you haven't seen it, you can actually automate your WhatsApp bot to speak to your customers on your behalf without even hiring a customer service expert. The WhatsApp bot will do that for you. It will be able to respond. It will be able to capture information. You'll be able to share files. You'll be able to remind customers to pay you. You'll be able to share proposals with your customers. You can blast up to 1,000 customers daily. So there's so much that has been done that you can actually use technology to benefit your business. Let's just proceed. Well, like any other successful business, there will always be challenges in the beginning, especially in the tech space. The times when we had launched this solution, I must admit that technology hadn't yet really taken off in our sectors. We had schools and head teachers who would say, "What do you mean you can pay money and through my money and I will see it on my bank account? You guys are thieves." First of all, we looked very young. We were just a company homegrown from Uganda. Like, you Ugandans, can you really build this? Can it work? Maybe you have some Indians behind you or something. The story is very interesting when I'm to share the stories we would get from the customers that would meet. But when you're going to use technology or you're going to deploy your first technology product, one of the things that you have to have is patience, because the long-term curve for having a product work or for your business to use a technology product to be pushed in the market, you need an average of up to 5 years of patience, of consistency, deploying and doing the right things consistently. We launched in 2016, but to tell you that we had the first surge and influx of transactions coming in heavily in 2021, post-COVID. And we also had to capitalize on the COVID era of saying, if you touch cash, then you have COVID. So that we saw parents running to our solution. So the long-term waiting curve of learning, studying, and ensuring that your customers understand your product, and then there's building trust. Because we were dealing with money, we had to first build trust with our customers. And I think that's why our cycle took this long, up to 5 years. We needed to do annual system upgrades. Our solution began with about 4 modules as the value proposition we are giving to schools. We now have up to 15 modules. The schools can be able to do accounting, report cards, e-learning. We have developed a fully e-learning solution, like how we are doing Zoom, but our own homegrown e-learning solution that will be able to encourage schools. Someone from a career can be able to make a lecture and speak to all the students across the whole country and be in position to bill them for his lectures, be in position to collect revenues, collect tuition for every lecture. So we have done a lot to ensure that we can actually grow the education space to an e-learning space. And to be, for your shocker, there's no one in the education sector, in secondary schools especially, that have consistently used it. They only used it in COVID. It worked. I don't know where those computers went. I don't know, but I think it stopped because there were no computers. But if only people could understand the high impact of using technology in the education space, like a high-end teacher, maybe in King's College, Budo, can teach math to institutions in UPE, USE that we have out there. The infrastructure is there, the technology is there. We are just not taking it up to go and actually utilize it and make ourselves better. Partner collaborations, of course, used to be a mess. Our proposals were turned down by many banks. Who are you? We don't know you. We can do it cheaper. We can do it with the Indians. We can do it with them. So we faced very many challenges, but finally we won. We now work with over 25 banks in Uganda alone. And just needless to mention, of course, our biggest collaborators is Centenary Bank, which was the first bank that had trust in us. And I will always never forget to thank them for the opportunity they accorded us to roll out this solution in 2016. Centenary was our first bank. MTN and Airtel also trusted us in the beginning. Although they had tried it and it had failed, we also had some bit of scuffles. But later we convinced them that try us for free. You will not pay us anything. Just let us run and we'll prove you wrong. And I'm sure they have now seen that they were proven wrong. Stanbic also came in, and I'm happy also to say that Stanbic has also been very detrimental in pushing this solution to greater heights. And very many other banks, ABSA, Equity, DFCU, and many other banks, should any of their staff members be around, we really thank you for according us that opportunity. But what I was trying to bring out is you may not win when you're deploying your technology solution without multiple stakeholders. You need to convince the stakeholders that use or may influence its ability to be deployed or launched. So the partners are very key. We had a funding gap. Of course, it was a small entity. You have to fund operations and wait for 5 years to earn your first revenue. There were no infrastructures in schools, so schools wouldn't have a system which they would use to monitor their transactions. We had resistance from bursars who knew that once this solution is deployed, then definitely it will unearth a whole lot of fraud in the institutions. We had high turnover in the schools. Of course, you train this bursar has gone, he has been fired. Director has brought the wife to now run finances. KWM was a problem. Knowledge management transfer will not be left. You find you're spending money and money and money to ensure that training keeps on happening. You will find that and face the same challenges when you're doing this in your business. You will train your staffs, they will leave. You will train your customers, they will tell you you're not supporting them. It's a total mess, but needless to say, you keep training, you leave user manuals. We have now learned that we have to leave user manuals in institutions, provide virtual training tools online, leave tutorials on YouTube and very many other areas. And of course, fear of digital payments. In the beginning, guys would say, I mean, to pay my school fees and it gets lost. These school fees is hard-earned money. These Ugandans are very smart people. So it took us also some time, of course, to be trusted, that you can actually, someone can pay their school fees and it will reach the bank and the school will be in position to receive this fund. Lessons that we have learned in implementing these digital platforms across the African space. Of course, I had mentioned it's patience. Our biggest personality and characters of the entrepreneurs is being very impatient and being very highly ambitious to ensure that we achieve very many things quickly. One of the things I have had to learn is calm down, take it slow, and move slowly. Doing the right things consistently for 5 years will get you to a greater height in technology. And of course, you have to constantly upgrade your platforms. Cybersecurity is very key and important in your technology solutions. The people have really lost money in very weird ways that if they had actually deployed very many steps to deter this, they wouldn't have lost. Listen to the customers and be in position to amend or change your solution to match it up. Imagine if we had just thought of our own solution and taken it to the schools. They say, this is what you will use. But I must say that our solution has been grown by the users of the systems from the schools that we have been training for the last 9 years. And that's why Scope has been an unbeatable solution. We control 98% of the market in Uganda. And this is because we listened to our customers. The partnerships are very key and detrimental for your technology the implementation. Develop solutions that speak to your stakeholders, not to your business. And if I had a lot of time, I would expand more on this. But what I'm trying to say here is develop a solution that will add value or help your stakeholders achieve their goals. If I had taken a solution that wasn't going to help any of the banks that I'm mentioning about to increase their school fees collection without increasing branches, they would probably have not listened to us. If schools had not seen this solution to be the cashless model would remove fraud from the institutions, they wouldn't be in position to take on our solutions. Understand the geographical landscape in the sectors to play in, use data-driven strategies, and not what you are hearing in the market. And I'm sure this is a very clear statement. We usually like going with the hype of what we have seen on Twitter, TikTok, where you sit down, analyze your data as your business, get a solution that is tailored to your business,
Osbert,
what you're seeing in the market. Yes, please.
Mr. Osbert,
Yes,
kindly
Christopher.
summarize in the remaining 2 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And of course, as I'm parting, digital transformation isn't about technology. It's about rethinking business models. And I will just not go through this, but I had just designed a small thing that could actually help us understand the business model transformation, your traditional approach vis-a-vis taking the technology-driven approach. And just to highlight one, the customer value. When you're doing the traditional approaches, you focus on your core services, on single offering. But if you're using technology, continuous innovations, you'll be able to do like what we did, value-added services like loans, savings, digital wallets, and very many others. Embracing technology in business and why? Of course, technology reduces overhead costs for the business, improves on accountability in the business, monitoring and evaluation in the business is made better, enables you to keep records better. Schools have now been able to keep their records or financial records for the last 9 years because of school pay. Of course, it allows you to interpret data in digital formats. The products that I have talked about have been in position. We have been in position to get to them because of this solution. We have been able to deploy data-driven strategies. Where are we losing in which area? Which regions should we play in? And of course, it enables you to stay connected to your customers. Automation is the greatest. And of course, it enables you focus in areas where you need growth rather than paying attention in processes. And of course, as my parting shot, SchoolPay has created a lasting impact to over 6 million parents since its inception through the use of technology. Thank you, listeners, for according us time. Thank you, and yeah, let's have an interaction. Thank you.
Okay, wow. Thank you, Mr. Osbert, for that wonderful, enriching presentation. I believe everyone on call has learned a lot from your presentation on the topic, using technology to build innovative solutions, lessons from school pay. Indeed, you have had a number of issues. First, you took us through the context. In the context, you ably brought out the challenges that were existing before that led birth to school pay, where you talked about the issue of parents lining up for hours and hours. I do believe that all of us on this call, we have gone through that experience, and trust me, it was never a friendly experience. You have talked about the other issue in terms of challenges. You talked about financial reporting and reconciliation of the fees payments, which was also really a very big challenge. Also, you did mention about education value chain analytics. Also, you talked about the issue of value addition impact to the education sector. Those are the challenges or the problems that were existing that led birth to school pay. And what we learned from this, that if you want to succeed as a business person, you should be seen to be addressing a challenge in a given community, a challenge in a given organization. Then also, Mr. Osbert, you went ahead and talked about other revenue streams that you have introduced as a company, where you talked about school fees savings, students' pocket money, school fees loans, school fees shopping, and school fees insurance. All these additional services that are really focusing on serving the needs of the people. On this call, I do believe there are a number of parents, and indeed, these services are speaking to our needs. Thanks so much for those innovations. Then also, you went ahead and also talked about the issue, you emphasized that the issue of using technology to scale up your businesses or to scale up your business. And I remember you did highlight the issue of WhatsApp. And from your submission, WhatsApp can serve a number of purposes. Most of us, we do indeed, like you mentioned, we do use WhatsApp just for messaging, but from your submission, there are a number of things that you can do with WhatsApp as a business person, as an entrepreneur, to further scale up your business. Thank you so much for really opening up our mind in that context. Then also, you went ahead and talked about the challenges you have gone through. Of course, from your submission, it has not been a smooth journey from the start. Indeed, you faced a number of challenges ranging from bias from the customers. Like you mentioned, at that point, you were still a young man and these people couldn't trust you. So, but you were able to go through it. Also, you talked about the issue of the long-term growth curve, which is up to 5 years. Also, you talked about the need for annual upgrades of the systems, also turn down proposals. Indeed, these are typical challenges that are faced by any entrepreneur who is starting a business. But nevertheless, you went ahead and demonstrated resilience, and you were able to go through these challenges. And today, here you are sharing your success story. And indeed, it has been really a fruitful learning experience. Also, you did highlight a number of lessons that we need also to pick from your experience. One of them is trust. You talked about trust, that if you want to succeed as a business person, you must be trusted, especially when it comes to the issue of finances. Trust is very, very important. Also, you talked about the issue of being patient. Indeed, you were patient. That's why today you are one of the successful entrepreneurs, young indigenous entrepreneurs in this country. Then also you talked about the issue of partnerships, that we need to partner. We need to work with other people. Then also the other key lesson, I put out a few, is listening to customers, because at the end of the day, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, you need to be seen to be addressing the needs of the customers. Hence, you should be customer oriented. Then also, you did also talk about the issue of developing solutions. So those were some of the lessons there are quite a number of them, but those are some of the few that I've picked out that I think are really sounding. Then also, you went ahead and talked about why we should embrace technology in business. And you gave a number of reasons, like reducing our overhead costs, also improving accountability, among others. Then also you talked about the core areas of the business model transformation. So indeed, your presentation, Mr. Osbert, has been an enriching one. And I do believe that people are not going to live the same. Without wasting time, at this point in time, allow me to invite Mr. Caesar Ojok to take us through the Q&A, because I do believe that our dear listeners have a number of questions that they want you to really look into and address. Caesar, over to you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor, our dear host. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joseph Caesar Ojok. I am an academic staff in the Department of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and also I happen to support a number of activities at the MUBS Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Incubation Centre. And I welcome you and also do appreciate you for taking off your time to log on this morning and learn from people who are practicing entrepreneurship. And Mr. Osbert, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I believe I see so much appreciation. People have been delighted and interested by your sharing of your journey, the challenges, the lessons you've learned, and also letting us know why it's very important for someone to embrace technology in what he or she is actually doing as a business. So without further waste of time, ladies and gentlemen, it's about the time where you get to interact with our presenter of the day in terms of maybe asking questions and additions or supplements that probably you have in the line of the technology, which was, I think, the main theme of our day. So you're free to use the chat. You can maybe type your question there. You can also use the Q&A session. Then also, if you feel you can speak, probably you raise up your electronic hand, and I'll ask my IT person to give you the permission to unmute yourself and ask your question. So I already see so many questions in the chat, so I would beg that Mr. Osbert, let me read them through to you, then you should be able to respond to some of them that I see. Number one, this is coming from Midragi Tumusime, who says, thank you, Osbert. I really liked your contribution in society, transformation in the field of technology. I've never used the school pay to feel the experience. However, from your presentation, it's exciting. And my question is, during the pandemic, so many schools were closed and students could not continue schooling. On your program of online courses, just a moment.
Ojok, I think I've understood what he's asking. If you just allow me to go through them and respond.
Okay. You can start with those two. The person is talking about also the school loans, how is technology used here to apply and also
okay. That's fine. Thank you very much. Okay. Midraj, just to answer your question, these online courses, one are in two formats. When a real-time class is going on, just like we are having a Zoom online, maybe a workshop or session that we're having, usually at the end, you can have a recorded class, which can also be for futuristic references. People can actually always go on and still watch. So yes, the lecturers would also upload some lecture notes onto this platform, and then they would still be in position to be accessed by the multiple students. So the system is very customizable. You can upload your videos, you can upload your classwork notes, you can do an examination, you can also provide online teaching, and then still be in position to customize and bring out revenue for your lessons or classes. School fees loan, of course, is technology. This we have Furaha, who is the first person who has actually come in, who is doing a proof of concept so that all the banks can understand from this one. So you can just go onto download their app. It's called Furaha. We are only working with them as SchoolPay. You will still be in position to apply. We run an analysis and then be in position to offer you that loan. And of course, later with time, this is going to be deployed on mobile money, just like how it's consumed when you're going to pay school fees. Option one will be pay fees. Option two is loans so that you can pay. So yes, that's what I can say. And Joseph, you want me to continue because I'm seeing the questions coming in and I could read and answer.
Yes, it's okay. You can proceed to Dr. Mebo, who is asking, what are your fears since tech is always changing? And where do you see your company in, I think, in 1+ years, or actually should be 10 years?
10
yes.
Plus. So our first fear is this. Our first fear is our partners changing. The people that we spoke to 10 years ago might change, and a new team might come that may not appreciate the things and the work that have been done before. And this is very key in our entrepreneurial selves in business, wanting to cut costs because someone has done a very beautiful system. It's making you guys money, and the appetite of greed so that one cuts revenue or cost to someone with the intention of earning it himself. So our greatest fear is people will want to think they can do this and instead kill a solution that has worked over them making their own. That's number one, our partners. And I will be very honest here, the telcos are capable, the banks are capable of doing this to us. Our other fear is, of course, cybersecurity. We might, of course, have sabotage, especially from the same people that we're working with as partners. Some people might even expose your own systems to hacking so that you can have a bad name, so that you're taken down. Our other fear is with ever-changing technology. We have our partners allowing everyone, an Indian will come, how much is this guy doing for you? I will do it cheaper. So we expect everything to come. And of course, new competitors are coming on board from learning from our lessons. So if we don't keep changing and evolving, if we had only remained as a school fees channel, I'm sure we wouldn't still be in the business that we're still playing in. Where do we see ourselves in the next 10 years? In the next 10 years, if you would ask me, we want to cover the entire Africa. The management and leadership is a bit pan-African. We want to ensure that this scope is a working solution across all the African. continents, providing all the value additions that we have been in position to do. And like I said, imagine having those 5 solutions or 5 value additions, give each a life cycle of 5 years. So I believe in those 5 or 10 years, we will have at least seen them grow as how we have grown the school fees solution. And I see John Bosco. This is my client at Pau. John Bosco, it's nice to hear from you. To provide convenience to are currently spread across the country. Okay, I think this, he was just clarifying what we have said. Can we get the recording? Okay. In the Q&A, I have responded to Shira Kasuja, who says, this is, Osbert, I've already asked myself how Coupe works. Now that you have elaborated well, my clarification is about the system upgrade. It's expected that sometimes data can be lost, corrupted during system upgrade. How have you handled this? If you recall, Shira, when I was beginning my presentation, I mentioned something about ISO. So when you're ISO certified, one of the key requirements is you're supposed to have a primary server and a secondary server. A primary server is the one that is live and that is active, that should there be any problem with the primary server, automatically switch on the secondary server number 2 from a different service provider, different host. So we are always mirroring our information and data that at any one point, mirroring can even happen with up to 4 servers at any one given point, which means we replicate, store, and keep data on 4 servers at the same time. And this is where there's some bit of, you pay the cost, but you will be saved from a lot of hassles. So when one is off, another is on. When one is off, another one is on. So that's how we have been able to do this. One is asking for the YouTube channels and tutorials. We usually restrict these videos to the portals because we had built them in to serve the users. But you can go to our website. Some of these user manuals are present. Just also needless to say, Coupe is regulated by Bank of Uganda as at 2023. So we respond and we are heavily regulated by BOU. For our clients that are here, I just needless to remind you that your money is safe and how we keep your data and information is in accordance with the regulation of Bank of Uganda. So I see another question that has just come in. Thank you, Osbert, for the presentation. Despite the awareness created about Coupe, many schools have not yet embraced it. I agree. We have 10,000 schools onboarded on the platform only in Uganda, and we are being told by the government that we have another 10,000 that have not been onboarded. One of the things we have actually already seen is that some of these schools are not licensed. They're operating without the licenses. Some of them have opened up accounts in SACCOs. We have devised means and how we can actually be in position to onboard them. So there's a way we are working with the ministry to ensure that they also are brought on board. As an individual to partner with you, I become the service provider on your behalf. Okay, you're welcome. Please reach out to me. Our office is in Kololo. You can come and we can have a session on discussions on how you would want to have them enrolled. Okay. How do you handle the insurance of these products, which might be very heavy in light of the monies involved? Yes, this insurance, we of course have other insurance underwriters. We have very many insurance companies we are going to be working with. We are approaching Sanlam, Edge, microinsurance, and we're going to open it up to very many other co-insurers and reinsurers of the solution. I agree, the monies are huge, but we will have reinsurers and actual insurance companies that we are going to partner with to ensure this is done. Of course, we are not an insurance company, but we will work with different partners. And like I mentioned, partnerships. So we will work through with the people who understand the game better than us. Thank you. Over to you, Joseph. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Osbert. I think you have been in position to ably respond to all the queries that came through both the Q&A and also the chat. So much appreciation, and I believe we have been empowered this morning by you, and I think we shall continue embracing the use of technology. Back to you, our dear host, Dr. Christopher.
Okay, thanks so much, Mr. Sizojok, for ably handling the Q&A session. And also I want to thank our presenter for today, Mr. Osbert, for also ably answering all the questions. The questions and the comments do indicate that indeed today has been a wonderful learning experience. So Mr. Osbert, we really appreciate you once again. And of course, we look forward to hear from you once again. So at this point in time, I want to invite maybe also to add on that I do believe that others may still have questions. Please, you can still submit your questions in through the chat, and those questions will be shared with Osbert to respond to them accordingly. The interaction with Osbert is not ending today. It's going to be a continuous interaction even when we are offline. At this point in time, I know it's already 10 minutes past 8. I want to invite Dr. Mabel Komunda to give the closing remarks. Dr. Mabel? Dr. Mabel? Dr. Mabel? Dr. Mabel? Oh, I think we have lost Dr. Mabel. Okay. Doctor? Okay, I think we can't reach Doctor. I can give the closing remarks. Once again, I want to start by thanking you all, our dear listeners who have logged on this morning to be part of this learning experience. We do hope that you have picked some lessons, especially how you can use IT to scale up your business. But the most important thing from today's presentation is that you as a business person, you should be seen to be addressing a challenge. You should be seen to be providing a solution. So whatever you're doing, it should be customer centered. As you have seen from Mr. Osbert's experience, School Pay was introduced to address a number of challenges that were indeed customer centered. And of course, in this 21st century, there is no way you can leave out technology from your business model if at all you are to remain competitive. So we have picked a number of lessons. We have picked that we can also adapt as entrepreneurs on this call, because some of us on this call, I believe we are entrepreneurs, others are planning to become entrepreneurs, others are employed. But regardless where you are, these lessons can be applied in your own context to see how you can become a better person. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting more time, I want to wish each one of you a lovely day, and may God bless you. We look forward to meet and also to hear from you again next week on Thursday from 6:30 up to 8. Always log on at 6:30. At 6:30, we always have videos which are so educative in the context of entrepreneurship. May God bless you.
You gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. 'Cause the world will never see you until you do. No, they don't really care what you're going through. So you gotta show them, baby. You gotta show them the real you. You gotta give them what you've got. No, don't let them see what you're not, 'cause you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can't be perfect, baby, 'cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. What do you do when you can't let go? What do you say when you just don't know how you nobody knows how you feel. Cause everybody's got their own damn problem. So everybody's trying to find their way. And day by day is a struggle. In this world, you know you have to hustle. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be strong all by yourself. I said it's okay to ask for help. Now listen, people find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. You are a work of art. Bet you didn't think you'd come this far. Now here you are. Baby, you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby, cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. Oh, 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 oh.